Hey everybody, so I wanted to talk really briefly and specifically. I am talking, my audience right now is ladies, people that are in a current relationship with an addict or someone who is in active addiction, someone who is in quote recovery, but you don't really know whether or not they're really in recovery. They may be saying in their recovery, but they may not really truly be in recovery. Here's the bottom line, okay? And I really just want you to hear me out here, okay? Any person that is in recovery, okay, and let's say they have a year's recovery, that's great. I'm happy for them that they have a year of recovery. But a person who has a year of recovery is not the same as someone who has 3 years of recovery. And the person that has 5 years of recovery is not the same as the one that has 3 or the one that has 1, okay? And the person that has 10 years of recovery is very different from the one that 5, 3, and 1, okay? So what I'm getting at is it's all relative. So a person that's all hyped up that they have a year of recovery, that's great, but that person at a year in recovery is not at the responsible, mature adult level as someone who's at 3 years. And the person that's at 5 years is above the person at 3 and at 1 year. And the person that's at 10 years is above the person that's at 5, 3, and 1. And the person that has 20 years of recovery, the person that has 30 years of recovery, the person that has 40 years of recovery. Are you following me here? The people that have more years of recovery have a longer time practicing recovery. And they have a longer time to be a responsible, mature adult. So when someone says to me, oh, I have a year of recovery, I'm not impressed. I'm sorry, I'm not impressed. Because the majority of people that are at the 1 year mark are going to relapse. That's a fact. Many of them will relapse. So I'm looking for people that have a longer period of recovery to take seriously, okay? And after what I've been through with dating, being engaged to, and watching somebody go through the whole process of in and out of recovery, and in and out of relapse, and in and out of recovery houses, and in and out of treatment centers, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out. What I'm saying is, it's insanity. So, if you don't want to step into the pond that has addicts in it, then don't go there. Look for people that are non-addicts. Look for people that are non-alcoholics. Look for people that don't have that as a base problem. And guess what? You're going to have a completely different scenario of hanging out with these people. You know why? They don't need to talk about their addiction or how long they've had clean, because you know what? It's not an issue. And on top of it, they're probably going to be a much more grounded person because they're coming from already a biblical base, okay? Believers who are coming from a biblical base already, not someone who is a non-believer and then all of a sudden they become a believer because of their addiction. It's a completely different game, okay? And so I'm just sharing with you that choose your friends wisely, okay? Because a lot of the stories that addicts in active addiction or addicts in active recovery will tell you, they're lies. They're not true. And if you look at many addicts that have been in, quote, recovery for 20, 30 years, even those men that are in recovery for that long period of time, many of those men still have one major addiction. And that addiction is smoking. And it's still an addiction. And they still justify and minimize and talk about how it's not a big deal. But guess what? That one addiction of smoking is and has always been the front liner, the front doorway to other addictions. Facts, people. Wake up. So when somebody says they have many years of recovery and they're still smoking, they're still an addiction. They're not in full recovery because they still have an addiction that's still running their life. I mean, if you're spending $500 a month or more on cigarettes, that's a huge addiction. Think about where that $500 could be put towards. Just ridiculous. Okay, I know I'm ranting again. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to be bold to help you. So pay attention, listen up. Think about it. Choose your friends wisely. Have a good afternoon.